Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and I'm also a doctoral student of psychology. Today, let's talk about things that you can say that can actually help an avoidant to be more comfortable accepting their attachment towards you, help them to realize their attachment. Because remember, a lot of avoidant individuals, especially if they're dismissive avoidant, but fearful as well, fearful avoidant / disorganized, sometimes they are afraid to accept their attachment for you. And so when you say things that are more palatable to their perspective of attachment and safety, it helps them to realize how they feel and be more accepting towards you and their love for you. It helps them to commit, but it also helps them to not shut down or leave. And so we're going to talk about those things today. These are things that are commonly brought up in session, and a lot of my patients have a lot of rapport with me. And so they're very easy to accept that these are things they want. They openly admit. If I work with couples, especially when couples are feeling like, the therapy is really working and they feel more safe, a lot of avoidants are much more clearly admitting, hey, this is what I really need. You don't say this enough. Or I feel like you're being manipulative and I wish that you would say it more like this. Like they're much more open now. I see that a lot with a lot of my couples, which is good. I'm happy for that because then we can adjust more issues and make things better for the couple. And so these are also inspired by that, okay? So the very first one is if you say, I appreciate when you did whatever it is, right? I appreciate when you did X, okay? I appreciate when you mowed the lawn. I appreciate when you paid for my car tire. I appreciate when you made dinner for me. Whatever it is, something very simple, it allows them to feel like what they're doing is perceived. But also, sometimes what can help is if you say something that you appreciate that might be more emotional. Tangible is great as well, but you might say, I appreciate when you picked up the phone when I was feeling bad. I knew that you would, right? It helps them to be more comfortable and confident about how they can show up emotionally. But I want to at least mention, it's important to do a combination. Sometimes it might be more helpful to do more tangible things as well, because it's something that they're more comfortable doing, honestly. And a rough way of saying that is they're better at it. They're better at doing something more tangible for you. It's a lot easier for them, especially if they care about you and love you, to pay for your gas than tell you that they want to get married to you, right? It's just easier for them to do things like that. And so appreciating those things more, or equal, but I would say make sure you appreciate both, not just when they emotionally show up, but also when they physically show up, because it can also help you to see what they do for you, even if it's not something you understand. Understand's not the right word. I hope you all follow me. A lot of anxious folks it's harder for them to see the tangible stuff because they're looking for the emotional stuff. And avoidants are a little bit better with the tangible stuff. So if you focus more on tangible things, at least sometimes it may help the relationship, okay? Hope that makes sense. Let's move on. The next one is if you say, thank you for doing X for me. Very similar, okay? Thank you for mowing the lawn for me. Thank you for, I don't know, talking to my mom for me. I wasn't in the mood. Thank you for, talking to her instead. She was in a bad mood. Letting yourself almost let them do something for you. Thank you. Let's say you're the person who normally cooks. Thank you for cooking for me. Let's say you were sick, okay? Thank you for cooking for me. Thank you for doing the dishes. Whatever it is, you're saying, I appreciate when you show up when I can't. Right? And that can be very helpful because it allows avoidants to feel more comfortable with collaboration, but it does help them understand commitment better, okay? Part of commitment that avoidants can really struggle with is compromise and the give and take back and forth. It's very hard for them because it's the opposite of what they were taught when they were younger. When they were younger as a child, and I know this, I used to be avoidant, you are almost raised to believe you don't give to anyone and no one gives to you. Right? So you become very selfish. And a lot of you guys know, I've told you before, one of my biggest issues when I struggled that way is I was incredibly selfish. I've told you this before. And it wasn't on purpose. I didn't feel like I didn't know. Right? And so now I try my very best to be as genuine as possible. And it's because of the way I've struggled before. But a lot of times if you say, thank you for doing X for me, it's almost modeling we do things for each other. So that's why that one's really important, okay? The next one is I notice your efforts. anything, right? Just saying, I notice your efforts. I notice that you always show up for us. Something along that line can really, really help avoidance, okay? Now, the next one is a little bit gender. It's not gender specific, but you will word it more gender aligned, okay? So you are a good man. You are a good woman. Why this is very helpful is because, especially nowadays, okay? Being a good man or a good woman, people think it's very rare. I don't think it is. I think most folks are pretty decent. I just think people nitpick and are on the internet too much, actually, which is funny because I make YouTube videos. But in general, I just feel like we don't give each other enough credit. And I think a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people internalize it. A lot of people think they are not decent. When I personally feel like most folks are. And telling your partner that you're a good man, you're a good woman, it helps them to realize, okay, I know how to do this. I know how to navigate this romantic space. And my partner sees me for who I am, right? It not only makes them feel appreciated, but it also makes them feel like whatever they're doing is enough for you, because a lot of times their fear is that they're not enough and that you're going to keep asking for more. But if you say you are a good person, they've already reached whatever standard that could be. It doesn't mean they're not going to do more, but it makes them feel like the pressure's off, if that makes sense, and that they can continue to add more knowing that they already have whatever they can give you, right? So an example that I thought about, which I don't know if it'll help, but this is how I think of it when I'm in those shoes. It's like, let's say, I don't know, let's say you have real estate tax, right? This is the end of the year. Some of us are paying real estate tax, okay? Whether it's through your mortgage or if you have your house like fully paid off, you still got to pay your taxes, right? I have to pay real estate tax, okay? So with real estate tax, when you know you have the amount, okay? Some people have a lot. My dad has a lot of property, so his real estate tax is like a lot, okay? He was just on the phone with me telling me about this, okay? And he's always like, he always feels good knowing that he has that amount of money, okay? Once he has that amount, then he doesn't have to worry about like anything else he's spending, right? In the sense, he doesn't have to worry too much about saving things here and there. He knows he's got that real estate tax. He can pay it off. So it makes him feel it's easier for him to be more comfortable with money, okay? So if he didn't have that amount, or if I didn't have that amount, or whoever doesn't have their real estate tax, I don't know how much yours is, right? And you're feeling like very anxious about it, you're going to be more like careful about your money. I don't know how to say that. And like that's how it feels with an avoidant. Sorry, this probably makes no sense. This is how it makes sense to me. When you are in a relationship with someone and you have like your feeling of love, or like you love them, right? If you know that you have that amount already, you're more comfortable giving more, right? So if you have your real estate tax there in your savings and all ready to go, ready to pay the county, whatever it is, you're more comfortable spending a little bit more because you know you've already accomplished that. But if you don't have that, you feel like really anxious and you're always worried, trying to save every penny so you can pay your real estate tax, okay? That's kind of what it is like. If they already know, okay, I'm a good man, I'm a good woman, I did it, now I can give a little bit more because I'm not like in a box. And I don't know if this is making sense. Whatever it is, if that doesn't make sense, that's okay. I tried my best. All that I'm saying is if you tell them, hey, you made it, they're probably going to be more likely to give more because they feel like they're not suffocated. The next one is, I didn't mean to be difficult, and I know you don't either, okay? This is sharing accountability, and it's usually after a fight, right? I didn't mean to be difficult, and I know you don't either. You can even say, we're both trying. Let's chalk it up to miscommunication and move on. Avoidants love that, okay? And the next one is, I never want to judge you. This is really important. When you say, I never want to judge you, you're admitting to some extent, we all judge each other, right? So don't hold me to a standard where I have to be perfect, right? Nobody's perfect, but I never want to judge you. I never mean to judge you. I want to see you for who you are, almost in a way where you're inviting, if I judge you, tell me, but also give me the benefit of the doubt, okay? So let's go ahead and wrap it up, and then we'll finish it from there, okay? The first one is, I appreciate when you do X, anything, okay? The next one is, thank you for doing X for me, right? This helps with that collaborative skill set in marriage or relationships, okay? I notice your efforts. The fourth one, you are a good man or you are a good woman, okay? The fifth one, I didn't mean to be difficult and I know you don't either, okay? And the sixth one, I don't want to judge you. I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.